Hello everyone, welcome to the Digital Accessibility Tools Overview. In this lesson, we will first begin with a short discussion of the importance of digital accessibility, which has commanded so much attention in universities across this country. And then we will move forward to demonstrate some practical tools for you to make your documents and your web pages accessible to people with disabilities. And at the end, we will close with some suggestions for you to enhance the digital accessibility in your university. Let's start our lesson now. Here is the scenario. Professor Lee has been teaching communication science for years. So in this course, he never had any student with disability enrolled in his class. And he's been super busy with his research and courses. So the question is, does he need to update all his course materials to be accessible? Before we come to the answer, let's look at this case. This is a letter from OCR to University of Cincinnati. The OCR stands for U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights. They would review an institute's EIT for accessibility and lay out the legal standards, give examples how inaccessibility affects people who use assistive technologies. So in this case, the OCR found that in the University of Cincinnati, the non-discrimination notice could not be easily found on their web page, and its format, its PDF format, is inaccessible to technologies. Further, many university materials and publications did not include this notice. Second, the university does not provide training on accessibility to faculty and staff, especially to faculty tasked with enforcing or troubleshooting web accessibility issues. Third, while staff has access to the policies online, there's no formal process to ensure faculty and staff comply with the policies. And last, the OCR selected a representative sampling of web pages and identified a number of technical deficiencies. So here is the link to the letter. I highly recommend you to go to their website and to read this letter carefully. I believe now you are sure of the answer to the question on the first slide. Here are some of the reasons why digital accessibility is very important to you. First, legal obligations and risks. Under Section 508, if your website doesn't meet the requirement of digital accessibility, you may face legal actions. From 2009 to 2015, 12 universities, 16 law schools, and 1 technical college has faced legal action under Section 508. And second, increase audience reach. Over 18% of the population has some sort of disability. They rely on assistive technology to read your website. Third, SEO benefit. It can also make your website more visible to search engines as well. For example, many websites now support being searched by the transcript. And last, usability benefit. Many accessibility principles are also called usability principles. For example, in Word, if you use outlines, especially when your document is over 30 pages, it is very helpful for the readers to jump to the page where they have interest in. Now you might be wondering, how could I increase the accessibility of my document and the web page? When you read the regulations of Section 508, you might get totally confused. But don't worry, we have these accessibility tools and they are very easy to use. So next, we will first talk about making an accessible document in Word. And second, we will talk about making accessible PDF in Adobe Acrobat. And third point is about web developer tools to check the web accessibility. And last, we will talk about adding captions to videos with those e-learning tools. First, let's look at creating an accessible Word document. Here are some of the key points you must be careful at. First, use built-in headings and styles. That means when you create the different levels of headings, you must use styles provided by Word. And second, include alternative text with all visuals and tables. For all those non-text objects, you must use alternative text to describe them. And for hyperlinks, you must also add descriptions. And fourth, if the document has tables, you must specify the column header and in some cases the row headers. Next, use bulleted or ordered list. Don't input 1 point, 2 point to specify the order for the list. And next point is about the text spacing. So use text spacing in paragraph in the pop window of a paragraph to increase or decrease the white space. Do not input enter to increase the white space. And the last 2 points is about color. So color should not be the only means of conveying information. Why for that? Because some people have color blindness. And last, so use sufficient contrast for text and background. It sounds a little complicated, but don't worry. We have accessibility checker for identifying and repairing the accessibility issues. Let's look at an example. Here is a document I created last year for my program. When we use the function check accessibility to check it, so this function is under the tab info and click check for issue to open it. We find that it has some common problems related to accessibility issues. So first, all these non-text objects must have alt text, like for example, like this picture, we can specify it as a logo, UGA logo. Add it to title, to description. And second, no header row specified. All the tables must be specified with column rows, head columns. So to do this, we click Table Properties and jump to the page row. Check this box. Repeat as header row at the top of each page. Click OK. Then it's done. Next, we move to this error. This is a warning. It shows that this cell is splitted or merged. So actually here I used a low to fix the position for the test, but actually it's not recommended. So for all the text, it's better to use regular paragraphs, regular paragraphs to fix the position. Next, it's about, it's about hyperlinks. So all these hyperlinks should be added with descriptions. If you didn't add a description to it, the screen reader will read it like this: http://idd.u.ga.edu. So the people with blindness may not recognize which page it will jump to, what this page about. So you need to add a description, added hyperlink. And here you can add a description like UGA IDD program. Here the problem is the heading is too long. So let's look at this text. Actually, we know this text should not be a heading, right? So we must define the text, the headings of the document with the styles provided by Word. Like this text can be a title. So we can click like heading 2 or we use heading 1. Next is about repeated blank characters. We used some space, paragraph space. We used some blank characters, blank paragraphs to increase the space. Increase the space between paragraphs, but it's not recommended. So it's better to use the text spacing to increase the white space. So these are tips for creating an accessible Word document. Next, we are moving forward to talk about creating an accessible PDF. If you don't have time to watch the online tutorials, I ask you to pay attention to these two important tools. First is Make Accessible. It's under the panel Action Wizard, and using this, you can check the elements step by step. For example, like whether the document has the title and whether all the images have alt text. And the second function is touch-up reading order. It's used to add text, and which means to set up the levels of the headings for the document. Let's look at an example. So this is an instruction for an assignment in my statistical analysis, and we use the tools in Acrobat to improve its accessibility. First, we use the function Make Accessible. Click Tools, open the panel Action Wizard, and click Make Accessible. And we'll click Start. So it will jump out the dialog. Here it asks us to set the title, add a title to this document. We input the project, and also please input the subject, author, and keywords. Here to save time, I just skip it. The recognize text. If the document has a form, this tool will detect the form. Here we just skip the step and set reading language, English, and we'll detect all the figures here. We don't have figure, but we have an image, and it doesn't have alt text. So we want to this background image. I don't think so, because it tells us something. So I would add Albert Einstein said what, because it's not just a picture about Albert Einstein, right? We want the screen reader to read the text in this picture, so we should say Albert Einstein said, but what. So next, it asks us to set the options. Usually, we just leave it as default. Start checking. And we'll generate a report. Here it shows some warnings, and here's an error we need to adjust because we haven't added the tag to this document. So we are going to move forward to the next function. Here in accessibility, in the channel accessibility, you set up the reading order to add text to this document. For example, like this, the EDA project, I guess it should be heading 1, right? So I click here and click heading 1, and like here the general instructions, so this text should be heading 2, and I click heading 2. Look, it's easy to use it, right? Next, I want to remind you, if you are creating a PDF from Word, do not use PDF printer because it will lose the structure, the outlines in the document. Instead, use export or create a PDF and check the box. Document structure text for accessibility should be saved. Let me show you this example. So I want to convert this document into a PDF. Now click here, print. There's an option, Adobe PDF. Don't use this. Instead, jump to the panel, export, and create PDF. Here you need to set up the options and check this box. Document structure text for accessibility. Click OK. And it's done. So if you use Save As and choose the File tab PDF, there's also an option to check this box. So it's the same. So these are what you need to know about creating a PDF. The third point is about web accessibility. Here are some key points you must take care of when designing a website. The first 4 points are the same as what we have mentioned in creating a Word document, so I'm not going to repeat them here. The fifth point is we must make sure that all the attached documents are also accessible. And the sixth point is about media. If the website has videos or audios, they must have transcripts or captions. And don't autoplay the video because some people, they may need more time to study it. And the JavaScript functionality should be device independent, which means that events like on-click, drag and drop, they cannot be performed by keyboard, and they are not friendly to people who only use the keyboard. And the ninth point is keyboard accessibility. The last point is also very important. Please include an accessibility statement and contact information so that people have barriers can find you for assistance. Now we are going to introduce some tools for checking web accessibility. If you search Web Accessibility Checker in Google, you will find a long list of tools, but these three are my favorite. First, Wave is very easy to use and it's very powerful. And this is my favorite one. I'm going to demonstrate it soon here. And the next is Google Accessibility Developer. This can be this tool. The advantage of this tool is it can show you guidance for repairing the errors. And the Firefox Accessibility Evaluation Toolbar, it can be the advantage of this tool is it can be used to check the elements individually. Like you can check the descriptions of image and the addresses of links individually. But the Google Developer Tool and the Firefox Accessibility Evaluation Toolbar, they are browser dependent, which means that you can only use Google Accessibility Developer in Chrome. Now I'm going to show you how to use Wave. So this is a website. I'm going to check its accessibility. And so I copy this link, suggest, and here we go. It will generate the report in like 1 minute. It will shows you a report, generate a report, and shows you the errors and the alerts. And if you click the next button, it will show you the details. Like these are empty button, and maybe there's some other errors. And next, you can click the bottom button to show the outline of this page, of this website, and I think it's very helpful for you to check the headings. Here, when you click contrast, it can show you the contrast errors, and like this text is too close to the background. The color is too close to its background, so it's not good. So for the other two tools, please watch the tutorials and please search Web Accessibility Checkers for other tools. Here I want to remind you the evaluation tools, they are powerful, but they have limitations. Here what they can do. They can determine the conformance of websites to accessibility standards, and they can assist you check the different elements individually. And they can help you repair the accessibility barriers, but they may produce false, misleading results, and they cannot be used. The results cannot be used to determine conformance levels unless they are operated by experienced evaluators. So even if your website has passed the test, it doesn't mean that it doesn't guarantee it 100% The last point is about closed captioning. Transcript and closed captioning are different. Transcript is the text of what is said in the video. There's no time code, but closed caption is time synchronized with the video. Most of the e-learning tools today support closed captioning, but they're different. For example, here I've listed out 3 of the most frequently used tools: Articulate, Camtasia Studio, and Captivate. Articulate does not support time synchronization. You can only add transcript in Articulate. And Camtasia Studio, both Camtasia Studio and Captivate support closed captioning. If you want to save the closed captioning, then when you output the video, you need to output it as a HTML package, or if you only output it as a single MP4 format video, then the caption will be transformed into pictures in the videos. But another solution is you can add a caption in YouTube. I like it because it provides a free server to me too. And because it's very easy to add a caption in Camtasia Studio, and the solution I like is to add a caption in Camtasia Studio, and it allows you to export the caption as a SRT format file, and YouTube supports SRT format file, so you can add a caption in Camtasia Studio and import the SRT file in YouTube. Regarding the techniques to add closed captions in these tools, we are not going to explore this topic here, but here I provided the tutorials for each of the software, and they're quite easy to follow, so please watch these videos after the class. So we are going to end this video by discussing what we can do to enhance digital accessibility in your university. Here are some of my suggestions. First, request faculty and staff to include the non-discrimination notice in materials and in all publications. Second, initiate some workshops on the topics of digital accessibility. Third, create tutorials on topics of digital accessibility, because even if you initiate some workshops, some faculty or staff may not be able to attend yet. And fourth, establish policies and procedures in place concerning the purchase of technology, as well as the publication of online materials and websites. Last, take actions to check the existing materials, especially those people are most likely to visit, like if it's a university website, the admission page, the academic page, degree program page, people are most interested in. Thank you for watching my video. This video serves as a brief introduction of digital accessibility. Each topic in this video can be explored into an 1-hour workshop, and we haven't covered topics like MathML, which is very helpful for professors teaching mathematics and science, because it can help you to create mathematical notations very easily. So if you have interest, please follow up my YouTube channel and to watch more coming up videos. Thank you.